pool.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid kept getting real mad at me because he couldn't get the ball from me. And uh, pretty much, kid was pissed off.
Uh-huh.
I jumped up to shoot the ball. He came up, hit me in the leg while I was in the air. I fell down and my leg went sideways.
Oh, God. So was that in TRC?
Yeah.
After you guys had moved here?
Yeah.
So did you wrestled in TRC too?
No, they don't
Just...
have. I wish I could have, but they didn't have a wrestling team.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I wanted to do it. I wanted to keep wrestling so bad, but because that was like the sport I loved to do.
Right. How'd you get into it? Have you just been doing it your whole life as a kid and
Pretty
stuff?
much. I started when I was 3.
Oh my God. Which, your dad's into it, or?
No. My dad barely showed up to any of the tournaments, anything. My mom was the one that always take me to it, and she was there so much she'd even end up keeping score at some of the tournaments.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And like, I'm guessing she didn't wrestle, but how did she know to get you into that? Or she just knew?
Well, me and my brother always wrestled and fought. So she thought it'd be a good idea to try and take my anger out on that, and I just loved it after that. I think that's where my mom met her best friend.
Oh, really?
I think that's where she met her. And her son ended up wrestling, but he only did it for a few years because he wasn't into it like I was. But yeah, wrestling, I have tons of medals, trophies, plaques. It's pretty cool.
Wow. So do you still follow stuff, or, I mean, how can you, right?
Yeah. I still talk to my friends that wrestle and all that, and ask them how they're doing, and
right.
Maybe whenever I go up to Washington, maybe I'll be able to catch them in a match or something.
So when you go back up to Washington, will you be able to get in touch with your old friends up there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because
a lot of them already went.
TRC till when?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't move to TRC?
About 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, the middle of my freshman year.
Oh, wow. God, that sucks to make that move.
Well, I practically moved school to school every year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
In the Tacoma area, though, right?
No, not just Tacoma.
Oh.
Like Puyallup, the South Hill, a bunch of different places. I went to 3 different middle schools. I went to like 3 different elementary schools.
Oh my God.
2 different high schools. I went to a lot of different schools.
So you're kind of used to it.
I kind of got used to the fact that we had to move a lot and all that because we were poor, couldn't afford anything. So I got used to just moving around, but never got. Still wrestle. Like I'd even end up going to a different school and wrestling people from my old school that were my friends.
Nice.
So it was pretty fun, actually.
So it was like a community that you had no matter what school you were going to.
Pretty much.
That's
like I knew a ton of people, like, pretty much because I went to different schools.
Wow.
Had a lot of friends.
So, as much as you want to, and you seem like you might be a quiet fellow, so, you know, as much as you're comfortable.
I just haven't slept much today, or last night.
So
yeah.
Tired?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Well, then we can make this as short as you want it to be, really.
So, you can ask me as many questions as you want. It's fine with me.
As much as you want to tell me about your leukemia, as much as you want to, but more specifically, because like we were talking about earlier, the video is about this how these alternative therapies, no matter, they're not going to cure you, but they're going to make your life a lot better when
help
you're
you
going
out.
through this.
Well,
Yeah. So the knee back thing, that's the story that I'm really after. But I think it's good to hear your voice and your story no matter what. And just your experience here. Because you're known out on this floor. Like, oh, it's just Wyatt. Didn't put his damn mask on.
Yeah, it's fun.
So tell me about the knee, right?
The knee. Well, I pretty much told you the first time it got torn, but the second time, I guess, I ended up getting a float nurse that day, and I guess she like had an attitude or something. She was having a bad day, or something, and I was really tired, and I went to bed early, and I had to get up to go to the bathroom around like 2:30 in the morning, and she pretty much all the tubing and cords you see on my IV pole, she just, after she was done taking my vitals and checking it, she just dropped it on the floor and just walked out. And I ended up getting up to go to the bathroom. My foot got wrapped around in it, and I tripped and fell onto the IV pole, and like my knee, my ACL retore 3/4 of the way. And ever since then, I've been walking on my leg with a torn ACL. And it's practically bone on bone with no cartilage. And when I was in Colorado, they said, oh, since I had my bone marrow transplant, I can't have surgery on my knee to get it fixed for at least a year. So they said I'll most likely end up needing knee replacement surgery.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with this leukemia, bone marrow, horrid crap, and your back is killing you and you can't walk. Right?
I consider it limping. Or hobbling like a penguin.
Right. Shuffling along.
Yeah. Like I can't run, but like I can walk kind of fast if I need to get somewhere quick, but I can't run or anything because I don't want to tear the rest of my ACL in half to where I can't walk. So that would suck.
So David worked on you before. Tell me about David working on you initially, and then after you came back too.
Well,
what does he do?
When I first met him, he seemed like a nice guy, and he seemed like he knew what he was doing and everything. And he asked me like where I was hurting the most and how bad it was hurting, and if he could help me out by giving me like a massage and just see if he can do something to make me feel better. And around then, pretty much the thing that was bothering me the worst was my knee, and he'd tell me to roll on my side. That way he could be able to see my entire knee. And he'd start, I don't know how, but like finding weird places in my knee, like joints I didn't know I had. And he'd start like rubbing it and getting like all the knots and everything out of it. And then after he did it, it's just like I walked like normal. My knee felt amazing after it.
Wow.
And it didn't hurt as bad for a while, actually. And the pain didn't come back as bad as it is like now for like 2-3 weeks. So my knee wasn't really bothering me. So, and I asked him whenever I'm here and he's here if he can come and do it again.
Right.
whenever we're here together.
So, and you already said this. All this is redundant. I apologize. It's just the difference between having it on camera and
Yeah.
us talking. But okay.
Shh.
So what were you saying earlier about being able to like, if it weren't for David, you wouldn't, or if it weren't for
Oh,
having massage.
I'd still be sitting in that wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But since my knees got so bad and it was hard for me to walk, like when I was in Colorado, I had to start using a cane and all that just so I could start moving around. And even using that, my knee still kept getting worse and worse, which ended up ruining my back because the way I was walking, and I couldn't like really move,
Right.
and my back would just tense up and all the time, and especially my lower back. It ended up pretty much screwing up my sciatic nerve on my left side of my lower back. So
Wow.
my back, at least twice a day, my back will like spasm out and it'll be extremely painful.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and this is like, here's the big picture question, right? The theoretical question behind this whole premise. Let me make sure this is still right. Okay. So, if you were gonna, if you found out, because basically what's gonna happen is if somebody doesn't fund these alternative therapies, even though they're not gonna, like, just how you're suffering from leukemia, and having the massage so you can walk is a quality of life issue, right?
Yeah, like if I wouldn't be able to walk or anything and I was just stuck in the bed or in a wheelchair, yeah, I'd probably end up getting depressed. Not being able to do really anything and just be stuck in one spot all day, every day. I would, I'd end up getting pretty depressed. But since I can move around and still go hang out and have fun with my friends and nurses, all that, yeah. And thanks to people like him giving these massages and everything like that, it actually does wonders. It helps more than anybody actually thinks. It's keeping me out of a wheelchair. So I'd do it every day if I could.
Perfect. That's it. I mean, I couldn't have written you a script that did it better. Is there anything you want to add?
It's just pretty much, it's like people doing things like that to help you out. It's like life-saving, kind of, because it keeps you going.
It makes this whole bullshit bearable, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it'll help with your pain, so it's you're not suffering as much, or help you be able to walk or move, and even from here to my bathroom, just to be able to walk to there, from someone being in a wheelchair for like 3 years, and you start getting these massages and everything, and you finally can stand up and move. That would mean the world to someone. So,
Yeah.
just being able to use their legs again or anything.
Wow. Before I turn everything off, just because I didn't notes when she was giving me your details, tell me what year and how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was 16. I just turned 16. That was November 14th, 2011.
What was that day like? You remember the exact date?
Yeah, because it was it was either my aunt's wedding or my aunt's birthday that I got sick on. But, like, I started getting sick like a couple weeks before, and they thought it was just the flu. And then as the weeks, as the days kept going, I kept getting worse and worse to the point to where like 3 weeks later, I ended up having to go to the hospital in my town because I was just extremely gray and looked terrible. And they ended up taking my blood and everything, and my white cell count was over like 200,000, and I was told I should have been dead right then. But I was I, I didn't really care. I finally ate some because they gave me some meds to help me eat because I couldn't even keep water down. I'd throw it right back up.
Oh my god.
I was that sick.
And you had never been shown any symptoms before those 2 weeks or whatever?
No, it just came all of a sudden.
Holy crap.
Out of nowhere. And no one in my dad's side of the family or my mom's side of the family has had leukemia. I'm the first one.
And then you had the transplant when?
Yeah, when I had a transplant. Well, first I had to go through my blood clot, and I actually died and came back.
When was the blood clot?
About 2 months into when I first got sick, around end of December, I'd say.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, my arm got probably about as big as my thigh.
Oh my god.
And I couldn't lift my arm up. It was full of fluid, and I still have all these marks and from where my arm stretched to,
Oh, like stretch marks on your... Wow.
yeah, like right here, I ended up getting a big old bubble full of fluid that, yeah, I was trying to, the whole time I kept trying to poke it and pop it and all that, and I was freaking everybody out because I'd push it down and squeeze all the fluid through my hand and my arm. It was funny because it grossed them out. And it gave me a good laugh. But yeah, but pretty much I've actually been through every type of chemo, the highest doses of every type of chemo, I'd say.
What's been the worst part of it and the best part of it? I mean, as much as the best part of it can be.
I would say the worst part about having leukemia would probably be the chemo, certain types of chemo, because some of them, they'll make you sick for months. Like one of them that I got was called methotrexate, and it's a huge bag of yellow fluid. It's like 800 milliliters or something like that. And it's just a huge bag of yellow poison that they put in you, and then it takes 24 hours for it to go in you, and then you have to keep peeing it out, and you end up peeing like every 2 minutes, so you like can't sleep. You're up for days. Like if you're a girl, I'd feel bad for you because you'd have to run to the bathroom every 2 minutes. I'm a guy, I could like stand on the side of the bed and use a urinal.
Right.
But yeah, that one was terrible, and my counts would be horrible for about a month, and then it'd start going up really slow.
And where should your counts be? What's like the good range? It's like white versus red, right?
Well, my white cell count, well, really, I don't know what would be a good level, but I know my absolute neutrophil count, so I'm not neutropenic, should be around 750,
Okay.
and right now mine's 0. It's been like that since I got back from Colorado. I've had a horrible ANC ever since I got back.
When did you get back?
December 6th.
So you kind of just suffered through the holidays, or?
Well, I didn't really suffer. Like, I've had a hard time eating and stuff like that. But I still enjoyed being around family and everything. That made it so much better. Because when we were in Colorado, it was just me and my mom with our 2 dogs trapped in a hotel. No one else. We didn't know anybody. It was either the hotel or the hospital. That's where we were. So that wasn't fun for 6 months.
And then when are you going to have they worked out the details about going to Seattle?
Right now, I guess, well, after I get this round of chemo that I'm starting today, I
You
think
still have to go do it today?
I still have to get chemo today, yeah. And I start my round for 5 days to get me ready to go to Seattle. But the first time we go, I think it'll be a couple weeks, and it'll just be for 2 to 3 days for a consult, and so they can take my T cells, and then I'll come back and they'll give me more chemo and everything, get me ready for a 4 to 6 week stay up there. That way, give them time to re-engineer the T cells so they can fight off my cancer cells.
Oh, that's what they're doing. Okay, I get it.
And I'm like one of the first people to do it, so it's a phase 1 study. So I'm the lucky one who gets to be the test dummy. I get to be a test dummy.
Not a test dummy. It's not like you've not done any studies yet on it, but I mean it's scary, I'm sure, but
hey, if there's a chance, I'm still gonna fight for that chance.
right.
Uh,
How's your mom doing?
She's doing alright. She's the one who's been there for me the most, and she's been with me through everything, practically everything. Whenever I'm sick or feel like crap, she'll help me out. She'll stay up here in the hospital with me. The whole time she was with me in Colorado, just everything. She's an awesome mom. I'm really glad I just love my work.